Hi, I'm Mitch Overton with your Lancaster Parks and Recreation Department, and this is Hometown Playground. Today we are at Alley Park, a 355-acre park designed for passive recreation. We've got hiking trails, fishing lakes, outdoor education, a host of other programs and activities that go on out here. A gorgeous place to come out and play. And today we're going fishing, one of my favorite recreational pastimes. And with us today is Mr. Nick Radeball. Hey Nick.
Hi Mitch,
thanks
good
for
to see
coming,
you.
Man. Nick is a fish biologist with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, and he's going to help us with some fishing today. We'll go through the ins and outs and some of the proper techniques and common mistakes commonly found in fishing. So Nick, today I'd like to take you to one of my favorite lakes in the parks, Twin Lake. It's a little bit of a hike, and let's try some fishing out there.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. It's a new body of water for me, and looking forward to trying some new techniques, and hopefully we can catch some fish.
Let's give it a try.
All right, let's go.
Come on. I think you'll be pleased with the layout of this little lake. It's a gorgeous spot to be, and it's nice to incorporate a little hiking into it as well.
Right, really rounds out the experience, and you know, get a little bit of a workout before you sit down and fish for a few hours.
You know, this one of the reasons this lake is such a little gem is it's not accessible by vehicle.
Right.
So it's only accessible by foot, and just makes for a little better experience all the way around, I believe.
Well, I can't wait to get there.
Awesome. Here we are, man.
This is great.
How about this?
This is some beautiful water right here.
Welcome to Twin Lake.
Well worth the hike, I can tell you that much.
Isn't this gorgeous? Now, it is beautiful, but this time of the year, Nick, a lot of lily pads in here.
Yeah.
Which, again, pretty to look at, but make for some tricky fishing.
Right. It can make it difficult to fish from shore, but that's also fish habitat. So
Amen.
If you can find some lures and some techniques to get in there with those pads, I think we'll be able to find some fish.
Excellent. Let's give it a try.
All right.
The Park Minute, brought to you by the Friends of the Lancaster Parks and Recreation, a non-profit organization who through volunteering efforts assist in areas such as park improvements and youth scholarship programs, making Lancaster a better community, one park at a time. A great place in which to live, work, retire, and own a business. The Friends of the Lancaster Parks and Recreation. Are you a friend? For information on how you can become a member, call 687-6651.
Hi, I'm Mitch Overton here with your Park Minute. You know, a very common trail design is what's called switchbacks, used to help you ascend and descend areas of decent grade. Here at Rising Park, for example, we use switchbacks to help you up to the top of Mount Pleasant. However, often very able-bodied hikers will see these switchbacks and see a shorter point to their destination rather than taking the switchback. What seems like a ingenious idea at the time really has detrimental effects on your park. For one, it stamps out literally all plant life along that new area, the new trail that you cut. pushes away any wildlife that's underfoot. It acts as a magnet for other hikers then to follow that trail that you've cut in, and then creates a new water run for the water. It's now created a new path to add to the erosion and only exacerbates the problem. You see, on the trails that we lay in, it's engineered for where the water should run, and there's water breaks laid into the trail. However, they're not on these new areas that you cut in. Now the water wants to follow this new trail and then hook into the traditional trail, really creating a great deal of problems. So you can see what's going on here and the problems that it creates by simply cutting the trail. So to be a responsible park user, no matter where you are, follow these simple tips. Stick to the trail and leave it cleaner than you found it. If you do this, you'll be practicing proper park etiquette and ensuring that you have safer, cleaner, more enjoyable parks for you, your children, friends, grandchildren to use now and for generations to come. I'm Mitch Overton, and this is your Park Minute. Stay tuned for more Hometown Playground. Nick, this area is a little hard to access here. You say we try to pull it in and move over to the next little body of water there.
Sounds good.
Okay.
We gave it a valiant effort. We'll see what the other half of the lake looks like here.
Let's do that.
All right.
What are you fishing with there, Nick?
Well, what I decided to start out with here, just based on the conditions of the pond and the pads around it, is what's called a spinnerbait. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping this will be good for this situation because, first of all, it's easy to fish through the weeds.
Ah, good.
It only has one hook on it.
That's good.
And the hook is pointed up, which helps. So you can drag it over those weeds and it doesn't tend to get hooked.
Excellent.
The other thing I'm hoping today is it has a big spinner blade on it.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping with the sun, you know, bluebird skies like we have today, that'll cause a lot of flash and a lot of vibration.
Get some attraction.
Hopefully we'll attract a strike here from a bass.
Yeah. Now we've had a lot of rain here lately. Matter of fact, we had a pretty strong rain event last night. You can see the water's a bit murky today. Is there anything, you know, you would recommend for changing up your style or the bait to accommodate this murky water?
Well, when the water's murky, that's obviously going to make it harder for the fish to see your bait. So one thing you can try is using lures that make some sort of noise, or some sort of water disturbance,
a little vibration.
Yeah. That'll get the fish's attention. Then hopefully they can hone in on where that's coming from. Also, like I said, a little flash, you know, try to catch that sun. That can help as well.
Now, Nick, let's see. How about tying a knot?
Let's do it.
Okay.
It's something that everyone's got to learn to do before they can go fishing.
Right.
That's for sure.
And here's a perfect opportunity. I lost my lure in the lily pads. Okay. And I wonder if you could show us a fairly straightforward knot.
Sure.
That would be good in most conditions. And fairly basic for us to remember, because you gotta keep it real basic for us park people. Right?
Sure. All right, well, I think what we'll tie with this rig, and what I'm going to show you here is called a Palomar knot.
Okay.
And it's one of the most widely used knots, but what makes it great is that it's one of the strongest knots you can tie, yet it's one of the easiest knots to tie.
Perfect.
So anytime I'm working with kids or youth, this is the knot that I show them, but at the same time, I consider myself a pretty serious fisherman, and I use it for most of the circumstances I'm out in as well.
Okay.
So hopefully this shows up well, but what we're going to do is go through our loop, our hole here once.
Yep.
So we've got that slid on there. We're going to take what we call the tag end, the loose end. We're going to go right back through the same hole. Not all the way through though. So what you end up with,
Yeah. The loop out there.
there's a loop on this side
Yeah.
and your tag end on this side. And give yourself plenty of room. And then from here, it's pretty easy. All we're going to do is tie an overhand knot. So with this side and this side, go like that. Put that down through.
Yep.
And there we've got our overhand knot.
Right.
Now you're not done here. You want to keep this loop because all you're going to do then is grab your lure, your bait, and you're going to pull it right through that loop.
Okay.
So make sure you get, this lure has a few different pieces.
Right.
Make sure you get it all through the loop, like so. And that's it. You cinch down, nice and tight. A lot of people add a little saliva on there, gives it some lubrication. Pinch it down just like that.
Beautiful. Hey, that's
Palomar
great,
knot.
buddy.
So-
Palomar knot.
Yep.
Well, that came out real nice. And let's see how she holds up.
Okay,
All
we'll try
right.
to do better this time.
All right.
What I'm going to give a try here, this is called a jerk bait, kind of a search bait. You can cast it really far, you can work it very fast or very slow, but the main thing with this is that it suspends in the water column. So you can twitch it, and leave it sit. It doesn't float to the top or sink, but it stays right there, hopefully at the fish's eye level. And you can be pretty creative with this bait as well. You can just reel it in, it'll have a nice side-to-side motion. What I like to do is really jerk the rod back and forth, and it darts up and down and sideways. And the goal with most minnow imitating baits like this is to act like a wounded or a dying bait fish. And that's what will attract, you know, larger sport fish like largemouth bass. So I'm going to give this a try for a little bit and see if I can't call something up from the deep out here.
This is Chuck Schaefer for Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan. It used to be when you heard someone say I'm busted, it meant I'm broke, but now it means good job. Too many times negative events get all the attention, but we want to change that. As a sponsor of Busted, we want to show people can and are doing good things for themselves and for their families. So